Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Motlow is becoming more affordable than ever. There's a new national suicide prevention phone number, and we'll hear from Coffee County Mayor candidates Judd Matheny and Margaret Cunningham. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. The Pell Grant covered approximately 80% of the cost of attending a public four-year institution when established in 1973. Unfortunately, the Pell Grant has not kept up with continued tuition increases at most institutions. Motlow State Community College says they can help students make the intelligent choice of bundling TN Promise and TN Reconnect with Pell. Motlow ensures students have more tuition payment power. Using Pell with Promise or Reconnect at the associate degree level ensures students are more likely to have Pell funding to continue their education towards a bachelor's degree. Lisa Myers, Assistant Vice President for Business and Finance at Motlow, said, quote, It's smarter to use Pell at the community college level where tuition is less expensive. When you combine Pell with Promise or Reconnect scholarships, money can go a long way at the community college level. That's why community colleges were created, so they could offer the same college credits at a greater value, end quote. Recently, President Biden signed a spending bill to increase Pell Grants by $400, bringing it to $6,895. Still, the power of Pell has decreased over time because it doesn't pay for as much college as it used to. There is a maximum lifetime Pell award amount. With this increase, the purchasing power of Pell is only just over 30% of most universities' cost. Students have become more reliant on loans to finance their education because Pell covers less of the necessary costs. The wisest use of financial aid is not always self-evident. Low tuition rates, scholarships, and many unique transfer opportunities allow students to save thousands of dollars on their education. Students may qualify for free tuition scholarships or grants. Myers added, quote, People often assume they can't afford to go to college or that navigating the financial aid process is too hard. That's why we're here. Motlow wants to open the doors to college for everyone. We help students navigate the pathway to free or low-cost education every day, end quote. To learn more about how to finance your education at Motlow, contact Motlow's Financial Aid Office by emailing fas@mscc.edu or call 931-393-1553. And we'll be right back after these messages.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
To be honest, I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine.
I checked what the CDC says and spoke with my doctor about the potential side effects. It definitely made me much less anxious. She told me if I have some arm pain or feel tired, that's completely normal as my body builds a defense to the virus.
I was willing to take the vaccine to protect me, my family, and my friends.
Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. On Saturday, the United States began its transition from the 10-digit National Suicide Prevention Lifeline to an easy-to-remember 3-digit number for 24/7 crisis care, 988. The Lifeline, which also links to the Veterans Crisis Line, follows a 3-year joint effort by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Federal Communications Commission, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs to put crisis care more in reach for people in need. This initiative is part of President Biden's comprehensive strategy to address our nation's mental health crisis and is identified by U.S. Health and Human Services as a top priority. Since January of 2021, the new administration has made unprecedented investments to support the 988 transition, investing $432 million to scale crisis center capacity and ensure all Americans have access to help during mental health crises. The National Suicide Hotline Designation Act, signed into law after the passage of the bipartisan legislation in 2020, authorized 988 as a new 3-digit number for suicide and mental health crisis. All telephone service and text providers in the United States and the 5 major U.S. territories are required by the FCC to activate 988 no later than July 16th. Health and Human Services Secretary Becerra, who has been meeting with states across the country about the transition to 988 as part of the national tour to strengthen mental health, said, quote, 988 is more than a number. It is a message. We're here for you. Through this and other actions, we are treating mental health as a priority and putting crisis care in reach for more Americans. There's still much work to do, but what matters is what we are launching. 988 will be live. We are looking to every governor and every state in the nation to do their part to make this a long-term success, end quote. The Biden-Harris administration increased federal investments in the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by 18-fold, from $24 million to $432 million, to scale up crisis centers and backup center capacity, and to provide special services, including a sub-network for Spanish language speakers. The $432 million included $105 million in grant funding to states and territories provided by the American Rescue Plan to improve response rates, increase capacity to meet future demand, and ensure calls initiated in their states or territories are first routed to local, regional, or state crisis call centers. Prior to this investment, the Lifeline, which has existed since 2005, had been long underfunded and under-resourced. Tennessee's latest numbers on suicide showed that 1,200 Tennesseans took their own life in 2020. And after these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Welcome back. News leaders John Gray recently sat down with Coffee County mayoral candidates Judd Matheny and Margaret Cunningham for an episode of Insight. In this clip, we hear from Judd Matheny about his background, what he wants to do as county mayor, and what he hopes to accomplish.
Most of you know me as your former state representative. I spent 16 years representing in the General Assembly, and at the end of that, I needed a collective exhale. And I went to work managing a private company that had offices in McMinnville and Manchester, and did that for almost 4 years. But about a year ago, I started getting that itch again, and I heard that our current county mayor was going to be retiring, and it was going to be an open seat. And I saw a lot of the growth that was headed our way and the opportunities that were headed our way. And I still realized I kept in constant touch with my political friends, both on the state and the federal level. I know so many people in Manchester and Tullahoma. You know, I was raised here. Manchester practically adopted me 20 years ago during the legislative process. And I've just been able to keep in touch with the mayors of both towns and department heads of both towns and the county government as a whole, and worked very closely with the county governments as state representative over the years. And I learned a lot about county government. Most people will know that a county is a subdivision of a state. So the laws that this county itself lives under, laws, rules, etc., are promulgated by the state. And so I sat on all the committees that looked at these rules, and they updated the rules and the laws that we live by, and gave me a very good education about local government. And also my experience in Nashville and working here locally with leaders and doing all kinds of projects, from capital projects to building things like Margaret was talking about, the TCAP building interstates and highways through our counties and our towns. Got vast experience doing those things. Also industrial recruitment and job recruitment, and just so many things that I learned over the years in the General Assembly. I thought those things are still so relevant and so fresh in my mind, and I need to use those, and I had a burning desire to use those. So I decided to get back in, and I felt a very warm welcome as I did, and just started mobilizing last September of last year, and officially announced in October, and have been working hard at it ever since. And I look forward to hopefully being able to start as the county mayor here in about 6 weeks. It'll start around 1st of September. And so that's kind of how I got to where I am right now, John. And as far as my background, many of you may know I was a graduate here in Tullahoma High School, and I hold double majors in political science and criminal justice. I went to Cookeville and went to school, and then MTSU. I also have had several businesses here. I've had several large businesses in Nashville. I used to do the security at Adelphia Coliseum and Gaylord Entertainment Center and some other big venues. And you mentioned the concert business, John. That's kind of how I got started in the concert business, by helping you and Stan Allen and some others here promote songs. And it's just been a great journey. But also interwoven with those experiences, I was a police officer for 11 years. I was in the military for 8 years. And that, with my government experience and my ability to take people and ideas and make things happen, I think I'm the best candidate for this job. And so with my experience, with those qualifications, with my formal education, and my ability to adapt and learn to new situations that may arise, I think I am going to be the best candidate for this job, and appreciate an opportunity to serve. Now, things that we have coming our way in the next 4 years are absolutely incredible. Coffee County is sitting in a very unique position that maybe no county ever gets. We could sort of say we've had it twice now in our history, once with the Air Force Base coming and actually materializing here. The next one is a potential mega site in the center of the county, just north of Manchester. For those of you that don't know, a mega site is a 850 to 1,200 acre facility that the state works in conjunction, literally hand in hand, with local governments to prepare for a major industrial site. Volkswagen located on a mega site, Nissan locates on mega sites, the new Ford Motor Company in West Tennessee locates on a mega site. These are jobs, these are locations that create thousands of very well-paying jobs, and then the spin-off jobs they create are extraordinary. Roughly for every 2 manufacturing jobs that we can create in this county, we'll create 1 to 2 in retail also. And then in education and hotel, motel, there's so many other spin-offs for those jobs. And the state is very interested in helping us develop a mega site here. They've been down here several times. They've identified the land. They actually have it under contract. Not necessarily to buy it yet, but they have an option on it. They have invested over $100,000 in feasibility studies and some very small amounts of physical infrastructure, mostly just a gate and some riprap. But I think it's ours to lose if we combine our talents with both cities, Manchester and Tullahoma, and the county, and pursue this in earnest with the federal government once the new administration takes place in September on the county level. It would just be an extraordinary opportunity for so many people to create so much wealth for their families and for this county, and keep the 6,000 or 8,000 people that we have a day that are traveling to Nashville or Murfreesboro or McMinnville or Huntsville to work, keep them here in Coffee County. So we do have the labor force that can do that. And I've helped build 5 of these mega sites in the Tennessee General Assembly, sat on committees as they came through, had the hearings, voted on the budgets for these things, made many, many site visits, had many, many meetings with the corporate heads. The state invests $500 to $1 billion to $1.5 billion in each mega site, so it's a huge opportunity for us. And the state does not expect Tullahoma or Manchester or the rural county to foot these bills. The state will come in here and provide this infrastructure for us for these facilities. They're just going to want to know that we have the commitment to scale up our services and to meet the needs of the population that these things are going to bring in. And those should be funded through normal means like sales tax dollars and pass-through taxes that come from the state, and also increased values in property taxes. So we have to manage that part and make sure that we have what we need in place to manage that. Case in point is Manchester and their sewer plant. They have grown so fast. Everybody has a lot of housing right now. Tullahoma has several hundred, the county has several hundred new housing starts, but Manchester has about 3,000 new housing starts going on right now in that city and in the urban growth boundary. And it's going to be an incredibly different place in a decade. And every year it's going to be remarkably different. And the core infrastructure, like the delivery of water and wastewater, and being able to provide electric grid, being able to make sure we have broadband out there in north end of the county, and also towards Hillsborough, where we're seeing incredible growth. We're going to have to make sure that we're laying the groundwork for that. Early voting is well underway. CD stamps here in Tullahoma, CCAP, the County Administrative Plaza building in Manchester. Also, you can vote early every day except Sunday, and election day is August 4th. Early voting ends July 30th. Judd Matheny would like to have your vote, needs your vote for county mayor for Coffee County, and hope to see you at the polling places very soon.
And we'll be right back with challenger Margaret Cunningham after these commercial messages.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
Welcome back. We now hear from Margaret Cunningham, candidate for Coffee County Mayor.
I'm Margaret Cunningham. I've been a rural county commissioner for 8 years, and as an independent. I ran as an independent 8 years ago against an entrenched incumbent Republican there in the rural area, but he wasn't listening to our constituents, so I ran, and I've been there for 2 different terms, and as an independent, I represent I feel like all the people, I feel like the parties have kind of abandoned our regular citizenship here, and I'm a centrist basically. I'm in the middle, but I'm conservative centrist. I appreciate our government, but I think our parties have just abandoned us, so that's the main reason I ran as an independent. In my years as being a commissioner for 8 years, I've done many things, but my background, I have a business administration degree from Troy State University. I started my own business down in Alabama before I married my husband, Steve Cunningham, who's a rural farmer and businessman out in the northern District 7 area of the county. And I help him with a farm, so I have that work ethic, that farm work ethic that's really unbeatable. I'm a workaholic, my friends tell me, but that's just who I am. But and then I'm a board member for I'm a founding board member for the Imagination Library and the Anti-Drug Coalition. So I've spent a lot of time helping with those organizations. I really believe in civic duty. I wish we had more of it. I wish it was taught more in the schools actually than is being taught now. But as far as the civic duty and doing my job as a commissioner, it's been very important to be in the government and see how it works. People really don't understand how government works, city, state, county. But really, as a county mayor, you're mainly managing county business. And I've been involved with all the committees. I've been on the standing committees there. I'm chairman of the Water Wastewater Authority. I've been very involved. And before that, at 7 years, I worked in the county mayor's office as a project manager for 2 different mayors. And so I have the real experience that does count as far as running county government. And I've been very involved in certainly in the agendas of the county, which because of our ARP money that's been granted down, it was granted to every county, every school system, every city. It's amazing how much money has been spent by the federal government. But our money, we've used it very wisely, and we've leveraged the money. We've got broadband going in to the county areas where it's so beneficial, where there's many places out in the county that don't have broadband. It's so important for students who have been confined to home due to COVID, and so we're very anxious about getting that started. I've been passionate about water lines. We have people in this county who are hauling water. It's so hard to believe in this day and age, but we have funds set apart for to install water lines, and we need to get that finished up. Unfortunately, because of the high cost of housing and materials and things, we've had to slow down on that, but we're trying to urge the utilities to get back to that and get water lines to all the rural areas that don't have potable water and can't depend on well water. The other thing, animal control, that's a hot issue for whatever reason right now, but I've been working on that seems like my entire life, but certainly that last 8 years that I've been a commissioner. We have very dilapidated building in Manchester that we share with the city of Manchester, but we haven't been able to repair. We can't have volunteers in there. There's just been a lot of negatives about where that facility is. The employees are not working in good working conditions. It's just a thing that we really need a new animal control facility. And also we need to internally, we have several issues that need to be addressed. One of them is certainly the pay scale for employees. As an employee, 8 years ago, we had problems with when we would get our paycheck, we would even have to hold it because we didn't have the money in the bank. Fortunately, the commissioners have done a great job of building up a fund balance for that not to be a problem now. But the employee pay is a huge issue that we need to get in front of and get that applicable to comparable pay in other areas. And so that's one of my main goals as soon as I get into office. Hopes that our employee pay, because bringing employees in where you're paying them more than someone that's been there 20 years is just not a good thing, but it's created terrible morale problems, and so I want to try to, address that. But I have a lot of experience there. I have a great passion for the county. I love this county. People move here because of its rural nature. I want to maintain that while we can have controlled growth going forward, because this county is growing tremendously. But it's very important that we have the infrastructure to handle that, and I want to be on the front row of that. But it's important that because people are moving here because of our rural nature, so we want to keep that, and zoning to protect that as we've got now is very important. I'm Margaret Cunningham, and I want to be your county mayor because I have a passion for our community. I have a vision for our community, and I have the best experience because I've been actually involved in the day-to-day efforts of county government for 15 years. I'm smart, I'm an independent, but I'm not a politician, so if you're looking for that, I'm probably not your right candidate, but I am the person who can take care of things and get things done. I appreciate my opponent being civil, and I appreciate this opportunity also to be on today, and I'd really appreciate your vote for Margaret Cunningham because I am your best candidate for county mayor.
And you can catch the full episode of Insight several times per week on Charter Spectrum Channel 193 or anytime on our Facebook and YouTube pages, along with all of the Tullahoma alderman candidates who were willing to come on the air and let us know what their plans were if elected. Stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
Hi, I'm Fran Gray with Alzheimer's Tennessee. When you receive a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease for yourself or someone you love, please know that you do not have to go through this journey alone. Alzheimer's Tennessee is here for you to provide support and education, all the help you may need to get through this challenge. Our number is 931-434-2348. We encourage you to give us a call. We're here to help.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1926 at 100 degrees. The record low was in 2009 at 55 degrees. The average high for this day is 88, and the average low is 68. Partly cloudy for tonight with a low of 68. Sunny skies expected for Friday with a high of 93 and a low of 69, and sunny skies continue for Saturday with a high of 93 and a low of 71. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe and have a great evening.